Welcome to the Pariksha Academy. Today's topic is formation, reorganization and alteration of states. Formation, reorganization and alteration of names and boundaries of states. The Constitution of India does not regard the boundaries and structure of states as permanent, but provides for their alteration according to national, administrative, social and regional requirements. The main constitutional basis of this subject is found in Part 1 of the Constitution. Under Articles 2, 3 and 4, Article 2 empowers Parliament to admit into the Union, or establish, new states that were not previously part of the Union of India. Article 3 mainly deals with the formation, reorganization, area, boundaries and names of the existing states of India. Parliament may form a new state, by separating territory from an existing state. Parliament may form a new state, by uniting two or more states, or parts of states. Parliament may form a new state, by uniting any part of a state with another state. Parliament may increase the area of any state. Parliament may diminish the area of any state. Parliament may alter the boundaries of any state. Parliament may alter the name of any state. For changes under Article 3, a bill can be introduced in Parliament only on the prior recommendation of the President. If a proposal affects the area, boundaries or name of a state, the President refers the bill to the legislature of the concerned state, for expressing its views. The President may specify a period within which the state legislature must express its views, and may extend this period if necessary. Obtaining the views of the state legislature is necessary, but obtaining its consent is not necessary. Even if the concerned state legislature opposes the proposal, Parliament may proceed with the change after completing the constitutional procedure. Because of this arrangement, the territorial integrity of states within the Indian Union is not completely immune from parliamentary alteration, unlike the position of states in federations such as the United States. The opinion expressed by the state legislature is not binding on Parliament. After receiving the views of the state legislature, Parliament may also modify the original proposal. It is not constitutionally necessary to refer every subsequent amendment made by Parliament in the bill back to the concerned state legislature. For the purposes of Article 3, the expression state includes a union territory in certain contexts, but in the proviso to Article 3, the expression state does not include a union territory. Article 4 permits necessary constitutional adjustments resulting from laws made under Articles 2 and 3. Such a law may make necessary changes in the first schedule, because the first schedule contains details of the states and union territories. Such a law may also make necessary changes in the fourth schedule, because it deals with the representation of states and union territories in the Rajya Sabha. Parliament may also make supplemental, incidental and consequential provisions, to ensure the effective implementation of reorganization. These provisions may include necessary arrangements relating to representation in Parliament and state legislatures. According to Article 4, a law made under Articles 2 and 3 is not regarded as a constitutional amendment, for the purposes of Article 368. Therefore, the special majority procedure under Article 368 is ordinarily not required for the formation of a new state, reorganization of a state, alteration of boundaries, or change of name. Such a bill may be passed by an ordinary legislative majority in Parliament, that is, a simple majority of the members present and voting. In the process of state reorganization in India, Parliament is the final legislative authority, but introduction of the bill is subject to the constitutional requirement of the prior recommendation of the President. In 1953, Andhra State was formed by separating the Telugu-speaking areas from Madras State, marking an important development towards the linguistic reorganization of states in independent India. For a comprehensive examination of the reorganization of states, the States Reorganization Commission was constituted in 1953 under the chairmanship of Fazal Ali, with K.M. Panika and H.N. Kunsru as its members. On the basis of the recommendations of the Commission and other considerations, the States Reorganization Act 1956 was enacted. The States Reorganization Act 1956, together with the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act 1956, brought extensive changes in the existing organization of states. Language has been an important basis of state reorganization, but administrative convenience, economic viability, national unity, regional aspirations and security considerations have also played significant roles in the formation of states. In 1960, the former Bombay state was reorganized to create Maharashtra and Gujarat. In 1963, Nagaland came into existence as a state. In 1966, the reorganization of Punjab resulted in the formation of Haryana, while Chandigarh became a union territory. In 1971, Himachal Pradesh attained full statehood. In 1972, Meghalaya, Manipur and Tripura became full states. In 1975, Sikkim became a full state of India. In 1987, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh and Goa attained statehood. In 2000, Chhattisgarh was formed from Madhya Pradesh, Uttaranchal from Uttar Pradesh, and Jharkhand from Bihar. The name of Uttaranchal was changed to Uttarakhand in 2007. In 2014, Telangana was formed through the reorganization of Andhra Pradesh, and became the 29th state of India. At that time in 2019, the state of Jammu and Kashmir was reorganized into two union territories, namely Jammu and Kashmir, and Ladakh. Even a change only in the name of a state requires the constitutional procedure prescribed under Article 3. The name of Orissa was changed to Orissa in 2011, and the name of its language was changed from Oriya to Odia. The name of Madras state was changed to Tamil Nadu in 1969. The name of Mysore state was changed to Karnataka in 1973. The Lakshadweep, Minicoy and Amandavi Islands were renamed Lakshadweep in 1973. A demand for the creation of a new state does not, by itself, create a constitutional right to statehood, and the final decision is made through the parliamentary legislative process. Holding a referendum within a state is not a mandatory constitutional requirement for the formation of a new state or alteration of state boundaries under Article 3. In the Berubari Union case, the Supreme Court clarified that Indian territory cannot be ceded to a foreign country merely under Article 3. For the transfer of Indian territory to a foreign state, a constitutional amendment was held to be necessary, and the 9th Constitutional Amendment Act 1960 became significant in this context. Thus, internal reorganization of states and transfer of Indian territory to a foreign country are constitutionally distinct processes. Article 3 reflects a distinctive feature of Indian federalism, because Parliament can alter the boundaries, area and names of states, even without their consent. Prior recommendation of the President is necessary, obtaining the views of the concerned state is necessary, consent of the state is not necessary, Parliament is not bound by the opinion of the state, and the special majority procedure under Article 368 is not required. Thank you very much for joining us. For more useful study material, please like and share this video, and subscribe to the Pariksha Academy channel.